Have you ever heard the name Sam Bankman-Fried? If yes, what did you find out about him? Was it because he is a crypto billionaire? Besides that fact, what do you know about him? Well, just like everyone else, we want to know who this crypto billionaire Sam Bankman-Fried is. Luckily for you, Crypto Clipper, in this video, we will know more about this young man who became a billionaire quickly. We heard that besides Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Bankman-Fried is the only individual who has gotten rich so quickly. We are as excited as you, so let's get this video started. For 4 hours each night, Sam Bankman-Fried, founder of FTX and Alameda Research, sleeps in a beanbag chair and wakes up before 6 a.m. to eat breakfast and work on his crypto empire. He has achieved this at a time when crypto is facing the most intense regulatory scrutiny ever. And again, FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried is the only other individual besides Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg to have gotten so rich so quickly. According to Forbes, Bankman-Fried has amassed a total net worth of $26.5 billion, making him one of the richest men in crypto. In an industry that is constantly faced with regulatory scrutiny, FTX has managed to stay effective and avoid getting caught up in legal troubles that have plagued other exchanges. The Economic Club in New York has hosted kings, prime ministers, and presidents, as well as Amazon.com Incorporated's Jeff Bezos, JP Morgan Chase and Corporation's Jamie Dimon. The world of central bankers have moved markets. Sam Bankman-Fried is a 30-year-old man who is probably the first person to play a computer game while giving a talk. The guest of the day is Bankman-Fried, and he is speaking by Zoom from the Bahamas. As expected, he looks a bit unkempt and reclines in a gamer chair sporting blue shorts and a gray t-shirt, advertising FTX that do not disguise his curly hair. In his private office, desktops are full of crumpled bills from the US and Hong Kong, 9 tubes of lip balm, a stick of deodorant, a 1.5-pound canister of sea salt labeled SBF salt shaker, an open packet of chickpea korma that he had for lunch the day before, and an old beanbag chair where his assistant says he sleeps most weekdays. As Bankman-Fried has testified before Congress twice since December, his novelty has long worn off. The previous weekend, he watched the Super Bowl from box seats just in front of basketball star Steph Curry and a party DJ'd by the head of Goldman Sachs Group Incorporated. That night, he had dinner at the Beverly Hills mansion of musician Sia with Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos and actor Leonardo DiCaprio. Singer Kate Hudson performed the national anthem, and they talk about crypto with pop star Katy Perry. Bankman-Fried filled a variety of people in a matter of minutes. He knows how to strategically interact with reporters and keeps his own best interests in mind. His top Washington strategist writes at one point, Senator Cory Booker, a Democrat from New Jersey, would sign on to his preferred approach to regulation. Bankman-Fried's assistant informed him that he had been asked to have a meeting with the head of an investment bank in the Bahamas who wanted to talk for 5 minutes. Meh, Bankman-Fried wrote back, emphasizing his plans for a flight to the Munich Security Conference and a meeting with the Prime Minister of Georgia later that night. Compared to the speed with which he crossed the financial world, anything else would seem low stakes by comparison. Bankman-Fried has worked his way to the top of this field in just 5 years, working for a charitable organization that promotes the idea of effective altruism using methods based on scientific reasoning to have an impact on as many people as possible. Then, he saw a seemingly too good to be true pricing anomaly in Bitcoin and decided that the right path for him would be making tons of money while giving it away. Now, Bankman-Fried is one of the richest people in the world after venture capitalists recently invested in FTX and its US arm at a combined $40 billion valuation. With crypto, Bankman-Fried can share his wealth with the poor. He too will keep enough money to maintain a comfortable life. 1% of what he earns, or $100,000 per year, except he will give it away beyond that amount. He is a crypto Robin Hood because he can beat the rich at their own game while strengthening capitalism. He eventually became part of the situation he wished to fix. He makes large political contributions and pushes his company's agenda in Washington. Moreover, he has donated less to charity than what has been spent on name rights for the Miami Heat's arena, $135 million, and airing a Super Bowl ad with comedian Larry David portraying a curmudgeonly crypto skeptic, $30 million. He sees no inconsistency. He is investing in order to maximize the amount of good he does, even if it risks what he has already made with cryptocurrency. According to his peers, Bankman-Fried is someone who has an abnormal work ethic and doesn't spend any time sleeping. One says that he only sleeps on very occasional occasions, while another says he vowed off relationships because he doesn't have time. In just a few hours of sleep a day, you could save thousands of lives by letting some others die, according to Matt Nass, a childhood friend and colleague. Providing 1,000 new jobs to the Bahamas, the FTX Group is starting a campus overlooking the ocean with 60 employees right now. Bankman-Fried only lives in NASA and is in a small one-story building near the airport. As of now, all desks are labeled with names on sticky notes that haven't been taken off yet. Bankman-Fried lives like someone cramming for exams, driving a Toyota Corolla and crashing at an apartment with 10 or so roommates. He figures 5 co-workers out of the 100 are also billionaires. Everyone is around the same age. Friends say that Bankman-Fried has a calm, calculating personality in all aspects of life. He is even tempering while playing board games during grueling marathons, and his opinions is sought when he's nudged awake because he is smarter when people are sleeping. Bankman-Fried sees himself in the crypto industry for the exponential financial opportunity in the madness of scams and global ransomware threats. From its energy consumption, he believes FTX is more efficient than mainstream finance. Becoming number 3 in the crypto market, FTX is performing exceptionally well by being one of the highest volume cryptocurrency exchanges. People commonly trade Bitcoin, Ether, Dogecoin, and hundreds of other weird cryptocurrencies. Wall Street analysts like Bankman-Fried did not understand crypto in 2017. However, their attention was caught by CoinMarketCap.com, where they saw cryptocurrency prices from exchanges across the world. Bitcoin had spiked 10 times that year, and a lot of people were investing in initial coin offerings or ICO. Despite the talk of a decentralized virtual financial revolution, the majority of all activity is still done through the use of private exchanges to match buyers and sellers. People make cryptocurrency transactions by sending their dollars or yen or euros to an exchange, then trading back and forth for a while before withdrawals. He saw that many coins were priced on some exchanges way more expensive than others. He developed the skill to exploit arbitrage opportunities at Jane Street, but in crypto trading, the price discrepancies were incredibly large. This would be too easy, Bankman-Fried recalls thinking. Something's wrong. Over the course of the year, some false data and trades were included in the prices. This made it possible to earn huge profits, but these trades were blocked because of capital controls. Trading Bitcoin on a US exchange turned into selling the cryptocurrency on a Japanese one with no limits so that it could be sold for roughly 10% more than its initial value every day over just 4 months. In theory, someone could turn around $10,000 in just less than 4 months if they bought Bitcoin at a US exchange and traded it across exchanges to sell for 10% more each time, turning their initial outlay into $1 billion in profit. With his friends' help, Bankman-Fried was able to complete their project. They were Caroline Ellison, Gary Wang and Nishad Singh. They already knew each other before he brought them on the project, and they believe in what he was doing. They moved into a 3-bedroom house in Berkeley and began their research. The main challenges which Bankman-Fried had to overcome were practical. He named his company Alameda Research, and it sounded harmless. However, both US banks considered cryptocurrency to be so sketchy that they refused to open an account with him. He also found that Japanese exchanges only allowed Japanese people's withdrawals in yen. He opened a subsidiary in Japan and hired a local representative, but his business still sounded fishy. Bankers would question why he was transferring money overseas through wire transfers. He had so much trouble with sending the money that he started calculating whether it would make sense to charter a plane, fly over to Japan, and have a plane load of people withdraw cash from him at home. If a team in Japan didn't fully wire money out of the bank by the time it closed, they would not be able to complete the round. The mission required precision logistics that were similar to a heist movie. It was coordinated by splitting teams into Banking America and another Banking Japan who would work 3 hours a day. Alameda took $15 million worth of orders per day before the expiration of their 60-day special. Before too long, the company had earned about $20 million from this deal. Bankman-Fried found it easy to win at betting, but there were a few that came close. With so many rich investors pouring money into crypto, the Bankman-Fried found it easier to earn fat profits in the market than in stocks. He went to a Bitcoin conference in Macau as he had been contacted by several other players and stayed at the center of the action. He told his colleagues on Slack that he would not be returning to Berkeley. Eventually, many of them followed him to Hong Kong, which has more permissive regulations than the US. By 2019, the profits were high enough to save lives every hour, according to effective altruism's logic. If Bankman-Fried had chosen to donate the funds, hundreds of thousands of dollars would have saved a life. The rest of their winnings went into building a cryptocurrency exchange, which did not take long. Exchanges suffered from frequent crashes due to unstable pricing. The marketplace was in rough shape because they were buggy, crashed frequently, and didn't work well when there were rapid changes in the market. On the other hand, financial institutions in Alameda charged customer fees for margin loans without regard to the amount of equity that customers had in the stock market. An occurrence unheard of on the New York Stock Exchange. Some, including BitMEX, incurred significant losses on their customers' margin loans, and some have been under U.S. investigation. It took months for Bankman-Fried's team to write the code underlying a new exchange that was recently opened in May 2019. FTX created a platform to cater to high-tier traders, offering dozens of trading instruments, complex derivatives like tokens with built-in leverage or index features, and even bets on elections and stock prices. It offered margin loans which allowed traders to increase their returns and risk. Customers offered up to 5%, 10%, and 20% APY for fiat deposits, which rivaled those of the competition. Notably, traders could leverage their crypto holdings as collateral for a loan with any coin under FTX platform. It was really popular in part because so many people wanted to use the exchange to trade with Alameda. Daily trading volume reached $300 million by July of that year, and an average of $1 billion in 2020. FTX takes a cut of 2 basis points in most orders, which is about $9 in fees to buy 1 Bitcoin for $45,000. That added up to revenue of $1.1 billion for the exchange last year and about $350 million in profit, Bankman-Fried says. With Bankman-Fried's help, Alameda bought CMS Holdings, which was co-founded by Dan Matuszewski, a crypto fund manager. Matuszewski says they have a huge risk appetite, and also says he bought stock through the auction system on FTX. He says it's calculated and it is smart. If Bankman-Fried had stayed in Berkeley, it wouldn't have been legal. Gary Gensler, chair of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, says Most cryptocurrencies should be regulated like stocks and exchanges such as FTX, like traditional markets. Those who are ignoring the rules are not following the law, and Gensler believes that fraud, scams, and abuse exist in this asset class. Because of this, Gensler argues that we don't have enough protection for investors when it comes to cryptos. Antigua and Barbuda's government initially banned Americans from trading to the FTX, but international professionals like Matuszewski were able to access it because they already had offshore companies. As the US market for cryptocurrencies is huge, so is a rival company Coinbase. They generate around $640 million a month in revenue and offer only coins they say do not fall under SEC rules on their platform. In 2020, Bankman-Fried opened a US exchange with a limited menu of tokens to trade. He has been heavily marketing this since then. He also aims to legalize cryptocurrencies as investments assets in order to raise his coin supply from 3 billion to 10 billion. Additionally, he is trying to push for new rules that would enable him to offer more coins and derivatives, which would inevitably increase the total supply. The effective altruism movement is being used to make philanthropy easier. Young tech entrepreneurs like Bankman-Fried have made functional contributions through their careers and impacted many lives, contributing 10% of their earnings to the Center for Effective Altruism. Dustin Moskovitz and Elon Musk are two of the most famous and successful young philanthropists. Through their companies, they donated more than $800 million in 2017. Bankman-Fried says he donated $50 million last year, which includes donations to both India and anti-global warming initiatives. This year, he plans on donating at least a few $100 million as well as up to $1 billion. Even though the largest philanthropic foundations might be bigger, Bankman-Fried is looking to donate as much as possible. With a focus on the world we are facing right now and future generations, Bankman-Fried thinks that advertising some of the most severe threats to humanity in the history of our existence should be a more valuable trade-off than current charity efforts. Bankman-Fried sees pandemic preparedness as his top priority. He is now funding an advocacy group headed by his younger brother, and he also supported ProPublica with a $5 million allocation to cover the topic of diversity in disease outbreak containment. At the office, you can hear the sound of midday chit-chat and Slack. The programmers are at their desk and not focused on anything, looking past Bankman-Fried. After your monitor flashes complete, he finishes his bowl of Nutter Butters and then puts a hand to his face while he sleeps again. FTX will earn $100,000 in transaction fees. During a cat nap, traders are exchanging roughly $500 million of cryptocurrency on FTX. That's it for this video, Crypto Clipper. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you feel like we have delivered value, please share this video with one person. That's right, just one person as a token of your appreciation for the hard work you put into making content that educates and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. Remember, you can watch video after video, but it isn't until you actually take action that you will start to see results. See you soon.